Hello and welcome to Food Neighbourhoods on Monocle Radio. I'm Monica Lillis, and once again we visit the places locals love for their food and drink. Today we're heading south of the River Thames to the small leafy London neighbourhood of Herne Hill, which happens to be my own. Here we try some of the city's best bakeries and restaurants, as well as a good coffee or two. Take a listen. Often when friends, acquaintances or colleagues ask me where I live in London, my reply is usually met with a puzzled expression. More often than not, out of politeness, they'll smile and nod along. If politeness is not their forte, I'm met with a very confused response. Where? They'll say. Herne Hill. It's between Brixton and Dulwich. This leafy green suburb of South London has been my home for nearly a year now, and it still comes as frustration for some that they're not quite sure where it is. Maybe it's the lack of tube station or its proximity to aforementioned headline-grabbing areas that overshadow it, but Herne Hill is a secret kept almost too well, especially when it comes to culinary matters. Situated adjacent to the 125-acre Brockwell Park, this quiet corner of the city has long attracted those drawn to nature. Its earliest known documentation is in John Rock's Maps of London in 1746, titled as Island Green, to reflect the lush presence of the River Effra and smaller tributaries of the Thames. Later down the line, the area became a largely affluent rural district, fit with large mansions and gardens. Not much changes over the years, and young families and professionals flock to this area for its greenery and a chance to stroll around the peaceful park, but not without a coffee and a pastry, or perhaps a sausage dog in hand. It depends from where you're coming from, but there are 3 recommendations if you're looking for a morning pick-me-up. If you're walking the 20 minutes from Brixton Station along Railton Road, you'll likely stumble along Koala. The wood-panelled space serves up some of the area's best coffee, as well as a varied section of herbal teas and delicious baked goods. Grab a still warm banana bread and a flat white, and sit in the seating area out the front, and watch the cyclists buzz by. Next up, Myers Bakehouse. While technically not in Herne Hill, you'll want to go out of your way to pop in here. Opened just over a year ago, this coffee shop cum bakery in Delhi offers some seriously tasty pastries and cakes. From a crunchy loaf of jalapeno chili and cheddar bread to cardamom buns that give the Monocle Cafe a run for its money, you'll certainly not be disappointed to check out this outpost. It offers shelves of tart pickles, salted Glastonbury butter, and bars of Pump Street chocolate, if you're in the mood to stock up on your pantry. Being just a stone's throw away from gorgeous Brockwell Park, take your treats and sit in the grass to enjoy. If you're getting the train straight to Herne Hill Station, there's plenty of options to choose from, so just hop off the Thameslink and out onto Railton Road and you'll find the majority of the area's independent cafes and shops here. For a comfortable seat and a sweet Italian pastry, head to the creatively named the Sicilian Delicatessen. Punchy coffee and pistachio donuts are on the menu here, and perhaps even an Aperol Spritz if it's getting towards the middle of the day. It's not a long walk to lunch. Out the pale blue door and to the right sits Lulu's, a teeny tiny cafe set in an old hairdresser that's perfect for a seasonal lunch. In the warmer months, you can sit outside on rackety dark green benches, elbows avoiding your neighbour, to tuck into succulent salads or a sandwich filled to the brim with ever-changing fillings. Last time I went, I had the coronation egg and crispy shallots. Get that if you can. A bit later in the evening, it becomes a more civilised neighbourhood wine bar. Think Negroni Spritz, natural wines, salty charcuterie and gilders galore. Next door is its sister restaurant Llewellyn's, which offers more substantial meals, but no less delicious. When I met its chef Lasse Peterson, he told me it's the kind of place you'd take your parents for a special meal out, and he's not wrong. Less of the modern and trendy small plates and more of a hearty meal. Turbot with parsnip and chicken butter sauce or pork loin with pumpkin are just some of the highlights of this seasonal menu. Normally, for an eating itinerary such as this, you'd want to work up an appetite. Just a short stroll from the centre of Herne Hill's gastronomic epicentre is Brockwell Lido. The pool is not heated, so be warned, but splashing about in the cool turquoise water is about as British as it gets. It's not the summer anymore, so you might not fancy an ice cream, but I'd strongly advise you eat one. Back in the main station is -12 degrees, a craft ice cream spot, which I would argue serves up the best cones in the city. The team is always experimenting with flavours, but strong contenders for my favourite are pistachio, yoghurt and black cherry, and monkey business. You can guess what's in that one. Now, it's impossible to talk about this corner of South London's culinary scene without mentioning the Herne Hill Sunday Market. Every week between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m, come rain or shine, a cluster of stalls including Moorish international cuisine, fresh fruit and veg and antiques set up shop, bringing life to an otherwise sleepy weekend afternoon. For a warming winter meal, head to Flet, serving up huge portions of, you guessed it, traditional tartiflette with bitter cornichons and salad. Another good option is Viet Van for crunchy banh mi, ou Mana Yana for authentic Guyanese fare. Whilst you're wondering, check out the deli options too. From peanut butters, chili jams to fresh olives, it's very important to stock up for the week ahead. With all that eating under your belt, you might not fancy a drink, but if you do, there's a variety of places to perch. For a classic pub that's a stalwart of the community, head to the Half Moon Inn, which offers up a selection of classic tipples as well as local ales. For something a bit more niche, head up under the archway to the Birdhouse Brewery. They brew their own beer there and serve up a vast menu of delicious cocktails. I usually sip on a spicy margarita, and later on you can boogie to some mellow dance music under the shimmering mirror ball. Food Neighbourhoods is a Monocle production from the team behind the menu. This episode was written by me, Monica Lillis, and edited by Flynn Simons. For more food and drink stories, tune into the menu every Friday at 2000 London time. I'm Monica Lillis, thanks for listening.
When it comes to voicing or acting on our opinions, why are some of us more confident than others? Financial Times readers think fearlessly because they're supported by bold and trusted journalism. Start reading today and bring well-informed ideas to the table, from the latest on the pleasures of food to sustainable farming and the future of wine. Start reading the Financial Times at ft.com.